Is Wicca or witchcraft, psychics, tarot cards, are these things related to New Age movement or New Age thought? And if so, how?
As I mentioned in the opening historical comments, Wicca, or the kind of neo-paganism, there's actually some interesting debates on the origin of what we today call modern-day Wicca. Many of its practitioners argue that it's simply reviving the old religion, the pre-Christian pagan religions. Other scholars argue that it has very little in common with that, and it's largely a modern phenomena that was sort of originated in the late 1800s. So there's debate on really what we call this Wicca or neo-paganism today. But in any case, some of the connections that it has with this thing we call the New Age movement is it tends to have a worldview that's monistic. At least, it's not strict monism, usually like pantheism. For example, most modern-day pagans believe and take pretty seriously a variety of spirits. But as I've read Starhawk and some of the neo-pagan authors today, they seem to believe that these personal spirits that they engage with are in some sense sort of manifestations or personas of a larger, wider, more impersonal force that's at work in the universe. That's where there's sort of a tie into this monism sort of thing. And so there's broadly a connection there where ultimate reality is impersonal. It's not a personal creator God. It's this impersonal force. And as one can learn how to tap into that force and how to use that force for personal benefit. In white witchcraft, you do that for your own personal benefit without harming others. In black magic, you actually harm others to do that. So they themselves will sometimes make that distinction. Biblically, and this goes back into the Old Testament, there's pretty clear teaching that any sort of divination or sorcery, or the things that are attached to modern-day Wicca, are not things that are allowable for the Jews in the Old Testament or for Christians in the New Testament era. Again, largely tapping back into Greg's claim. One is either trying to become God in the sense of harnessing the forces of the universe and the spirits of the universe to get one's own will done. Or one, if one goes to a kind of a very New Agey form of Wicca, one just is God. In both cases, one isn't trusting and honoring the true God. And that's, I think, what the Judeo-Christian tradition has as a significant problem with Wicca and that sort of thing.